Hello, and once again, welcome to Tap Time, brought to you by P3 Performance. I'm Sports Psych Mike, and today we're going to again expand on the TAP model and take a look at how you can learn to become aware of your physiological activation levels and recognize when you are getting out of control before it is too late. If you haven't watched the first set of TAP videos, How Your Thoughts Affect Your Performance, I do suggest you go back and take a look. At the higher levels, with the college coaches, with Major League Scouts, what do you think they're looking for? They're looking at a quality that is often and coined in the media as described as mental toughness. How do you see mental toughness? Well, you don't really see mental toughness when a player is going 4 for 4 and hitting home runs, scoring a lot of goals, or serving a bunch of aces. You see mental toughness when the player has to deal with adversity, and then you get to see how they handle it. How do they do after they strike out with the bases loaded? How do they handle sitting on the bench? Do they get back to the rail and support their teammates, or do they sulk while sitting on the bench? In order to perform successfully, players must maintain control of themselves. Great players have the poise or the composure to handle pressure situations rather than tensing up. They don't become frustrated, and then ultimately they aren't playing scared or scared of making a mistake. In addition to teaching players hitting, fielding, and throwing skills, these technical and tactical skills, players and coaches must understand that how to remain composed, especially under pressure, is simply a set of skills. Ken Ravizza coined this a number of years ago, an analogy he calls a traffic light for creating physical awareness to strengthen your mental game. In Ken Ravizza, Dr. Ravizza, he stated that this is step number 1 for enhancing performance. Once again, events happen. How you choose to think about that event is up to you, which in turn leads to emotional and physiological responses. Today, as you can see, we're going to focus on the physical or the physiological response that are the result of your particular thoughts. You're not going to be successful all the time. You're going to hit a point where you must learn to deal with your failure and with your frustrations. There might be a bad call. You may have made an error. Maybe you got benched. But what did you do? Did you go get out of control? Did one mistake lead to another mistake, lead to another mistake? Did you place blame on your coach, on other players, on the field? You weren't feeling well, on your parents? Can you even recognize in your body when this kind of thing is beginning to affect you? So taking a look at the stoplight analogy on the worksheet to the left, a green light mental game means that the player is focused, confident, positive, aggressive, in the flow, and in control of herself, himself. This mental green light leads to players who have their heads in the game, have quality at-bats, and consistently can make those routine plays. Now, a yellow light means a player is aware of what's happening from a physiological aspect of becoming frustrated, distracted, stressed, tentative, and losing control. The mental yellow light shows up on the field when a player might be pressing at the plate, could be swinging at pitches out of the strike zone, making poor decisions, forgetting to check the signs or the runners or the number of outs, or he or she is tensing up and can't seem to throw a strike all over the strike zone. This yellow light can just decrease the player's chances of playing to his or her potential because the mental game gets in the way. Now, a red light means the player is totally lost control, could be extremely angry and is very frustrated, negative, completely lost confidence, may be totally apathetic, and even given up. If the player is still on the field when a red light, he or she might be worried about looking foolish at the plate. Playing the ball is not going to be hit to him or her in the field. Scared to death of getting one jacked out of the park if they're a pitcher. When the player is in this red light zone, you have very little chance of playing well because your head is not in the position for success. So mental toughness means staying in a green or quickly getting back to the green light, even when it's very easy to go into a yellow or red light. We want you to have the ability to recognize when you are slipping into a yellow light and work to mentally change it to a green before allowing yourself to drop into red. The first step is to recognize when it's happening. Identify the patterns of when it occurs so that you can then learn how to get yourself back in the green for consistent, confident, and composed performance. So taking a look at the worksheet to the right, reflecting back on your worst and your best performances from before, write down what happened in your body from an activation level under both performances. Are you starting to see any patterns yet? If you do this enough, you will. How do you regulate this? Well, that's going to be in future lessons because we just don't have time to cover everything in these mini tap times. So the mental strategies for doing this are presented in additional videos. To recap, you control you, and it begins with body awareness. Want to know more or find worksheets for how to create self-awareness and when you're becoming physically out of control? Get the mental skills workbook at Sports Psych Mike on Facebook, or go to p3perf.com and check out our free PI behavioral assessment. Thanks for tuning in to Tap Time, and we'll see you next time.